So, hi, my name is Erika Villa, and I'm here with
Jennifer Gailey.
And I'm going to ask her some questions about her organization. So, can you tell me about your role and involvement with Solana Center?
I am a part-time environmental educator. I love to teach composting, gardening, gray water, rain barrel, water conservation. We do a rain barrel program. And so I teach those classes.
Oh, that's cool. What inspired you to advocate for this cause?
I used to work for the Del Mar Fair or the San Diego County Fair, and I was put over on the farm, the infield farm, and I was tasked with making exhibits, but I got really hooked into the idea of making everything organic. And eventually I was given full control over the farm, and I made it an organic farm. I came to Solana Center because you can't do organics very well without making compost and mulch. In other words, you need to know how to compost.
Yeah.
And I really feel passionately about returning to the soil that which we take out. And every time we grow food, if we don't put something back in there that's beneficial to the soil, we're hurting. That to me is why there's problems with growing things, is that if it's organic, then you have returned to the ground. I mean, that's the whole idea behind regenerative farming, is returning, leaving the soil better than where you found it. So I came here, I took master composter class, and cool. I ended up, they needed an educator, so I started working here. So it's been good.
Wow. Okay. Where'd my questions go?
I talked too long.
No. Oh my god, no, it's okay. Even better. In your opinion, what are the most pressing environmental issues facing our society today?
I think that Earth should have a vote when it comes to any decisions that are made that impact the Earth. And I think that, honestly, I think the challenge is getting people to understand that if each person does their own little part, it contributes to a huge whole, rather than too many people are unconscious about what they're doing. And our society teaches us to consume and to take and take and take, and I guess I feel like there's a whole plethora of things that are challenges, and they can all be addressed, but I think too many people are waiting for somebody else to figure it out instead of participating in the solution. And again, they used to say, I don't need one person to do everything perfectly. I need 1,000 people to make an attempt. Do you know what I mean? And because that consciousness, that elevates everything. If people are thinking about it, it's elevated. And that, to me, that's where we have to go.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
What are some of the key initiatives or programs that Solana Center is currently focused on?
Encinitas has, Solana helped Encinitas lead the ban for styrofoam being taken out, plastic straws being eliminated from being given out at restaurants and the like. And one of the big things that we have an education department and we have an environmental solutions department. And our environmental solutions department is heavily focused on the bill 18. Oh gosh. There's a bill that made it that it's illegal to throw your organic waste into the landfill. And so restaurants and schools are all being tasked. AB 1823 and so the environmental staff goes to businesses and helps them figure out what to do with their organic waste. That is food scraps. That is, and that's mainly a lot of what they're focused on, is places that are throwing away huge amounts of food, and that's going to the landfill. That contributes to greenhouse gases, as well as, I look at food scraps in particular as being incredibly dense with nutrition that we're eating it. So dense with nutrition, and instead of throwing it away, it should go to get composted or go
Yeah.
to feed animals. So that's been a huge portion of what they get to do, and there's been a lot of energy put into that. Even the city of San Diego, I don't know if you live in the city, but there's been that huge upset about making people pay for their trash. But until you make people pay for it, they don't understand that, how can I put less to the landfill? Less to the landfill means throwing your organics where they're supposed to go, which is to a compost facility. So that's two of the things that Solana, we teach composting, and we teach people how to do take care of backyard composting. But then on this, the environmental group really goes to businesses and schools and said, here's what you need to be doing, because a business doesn't want to compost, but they need to figure out what they're going to do with it, even if it costs money. And so again, this bill forces people, and people are unhappy about being forced to do something, and yet again raise the consciousness of it's not okay to throw away all this stuff all the time.
Wait, that's very cool. I think it's very cool that you guys have like the both, like the classes and then the helping with.
Yes.
Makes a huge impact.
Yeah. That's the other thing we have is chickens. We teach about chickens and manure management. I don't teach the chicken class anymore, but we have chickens.
Oh,
so,
that's cute.
Yeah.
Okay. What are the results of your community helping in your cause? I know you already talked about that a little bit, but like the impacts you say it has in your community specifically.
Well, I think we have reached a lot of people. I know, you say you never heard of Solana Center. I know we've reached a lot of people over the years doing the workshops, and we get volunteers whenever the Master Composter program, that's what I was prepping all that greens material for, is those people are asked to give back hours. And so to me, they are outreach into the community as well. And so we do booths as well. We do information booths like the Avocado Festival in Fallbrook. Have you ever gone up to that?
I haven't.
No.
You have to go do that sometime. Anyway, we have outreach booths. I don't know if I'm answering your question.
No. Yeah, that's good. What are the biggest challenges you face as a nonprofit?
Funding.
Yeah.
Funding, always. I struggle with jurisdictions like the city of San Diego and Encinitas and the unincorporated county. They fund our classes. But the city's really starting to cut back on those because they've got to put more money into their trash, that education part. So I would say funding in general. You're always chasing after, funding, and I think we've done a good job of, I don't like taking money from people I don't believe in. In other words, yes, we could go get money from these people over here, but if they don't they don't believe in what we believe in, why we shouldn't take their money. And so that's the challenge sometimes, I think.
It's honestly, it's almost a good idea to take money from them and use it for something good.
Except then you have to use they're sponsored by, and that's not a. It's not a good look for me, I wouldn't do something sponsored by tobacco, I wouldn't do it. So, anyway.
Can you share with me a story that you remember from your work in this association?
A story from thy work,
Could be anything.
I think, something I think I enjoy, I guess there's like happy stories for me of, I'll run into somebody that I had in class 5 years ago. Do you know what I mean? And they will come and share with me, in other words, so you had a class with them, but those people went out and they did this big stuff out here. Do you know what I mean? And it's really rewarding for me to see how people take what they learn. Like, see, I think my happiest times are, and that's why I like to teach the Master Composter class, is, you know, you're sitting in a class and people go, oh, really? They get excited. I love seeing people's lights go off. Do you know what I mean? And it's a real because I'm already, we always say, I'm already preaching to the choir. They're already in my tribe. They already want to do this stuff. But sometimes people don't have information, and I love sharing information and ideas and options. And so I think that's probably that's why I enjoy teaching so much.
I think that's the biggest part. Like, you want to do something, but you don't have the resources. So like coming here is like the most helpful part. To do so. What can high school students do to support this cause?
High school students do. I think anytime, you know, students in particular, we even get to go to the younger classes, and I guess I love it when, you know, parents will tell me that my child told me I had to compost this, or my child told me this is recyclable, I should be recycling. And I think students can participate in the solution in that way. You know, caring about, I think students to care about, you know, what is your school? Do you have recycling at your school? Is that being used? You know, because often, they have the nice little bins, and then the custodian comes and just throws them all away. So it's sort of like, are the students actively encouraging accountability to the adults that they are around? Because I think as high school students, you can ask adults to be accountable for what they are teaching you.
I think you could probably get your school to start composting as well. Like, at least my high school, if I had wanted to do that, if I knew that was a thing, I totally could have
gotten it going.
Get a club going or something like that, and just compost at the school.
And there is support for that. Master gardeners. We do a master composter program, but there are master gardeners, and they actually come to schools and sometimes help with school gardens and teaching those things as well. See, it's interesting how, you know, people will call us and want us to come do things, and out of the goodness of our heart, and it's like, well, how many times, you know, in other words, first of all, people don't sometimes value things that are free. They don't value it. And then also, to what extent do we send people out to work for free? Do you know what I mean? I readily acknowledge I'm not paid anywhere. Nonprofits don't make a lot of money, you know, and we've worked really hard to make it at least a competitive wage and to get people to full time so they have insurance. I've always stayed part time because my husband was a teacher, and now I'm 69, so I don't need. I've got Medicare, so.
Okay.
So, but I'm just saying that to me is sometimes the challenge of working for a nonprofit is, you know, they can't pay a lot, you know. So, but it's your heart that I guess sometimes I think you can pay me to give information. You can't pay me to be passionate. I get to be passionate, and I love what I do because I care about this, and I think that's more important than money to me. So.
It is. On my hands. What would you like me to share with my classmates about your cause and your association in general?
We have online an incredible amount of information that's free and available. You could, if you're somebody who could learn by reading, you could spend weeks reading what we have available online. In terms of learning about anything to do with environmental sources. And one of the latest things we're doing and is it's clothing. Is recycling of that. Why am I blanking on the name of it? It's more than, you know, like sheets and towel, like everything to do with recycling our clothing, and you know, because they'll say really, textiles recovery. In other words, how to get those recycled. I mean, we know how to do cans and bottles and paper. Textiles is a huge thing, and that's organic material, but the challenge is it's made of different things, and so we're doing workshops on them. And I know Liz, the volunteer coordinator, if you want to ask her more about that, she's heavily involved in the textile recovery. I mean, the whole idea of how can you get they recycle jeans. I know that, but beyond that, I mean, what are some of the other things that could be finding a way to repurpose these things rather than having those go into the landfill, because otherwise that's what happens. I mean, I feel bad at my house. I feel like I have piles of potential. Those are rags, really, but how many am I going to keep? Because I don't want to throw them out, because it's like, okay, I would never pay for rags. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
I like the idea of like people that cut them into strips and make carpets and stuff.
Yes.
But I never have that many.
Right, yeah.
I have too many, but like not enough for that.
I know.
Start to accumulate. Yeah, it's space-wise and everything, so. Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Yeah,
That was
okay.
all.
Well, good luck with this. Yes.
Thank you so much.